The year is 2025. The global economy, still reeling from the aftershocks of the pandemic, faces a new threat: American tariffs. In a series of sweeping executive actions, the US government has imposed hefty taxes on a wide range of imports. These tariffs, designed to protect American industries and jobs, have sent shockwaves through global markets. Initial reactions were swift and severe. Stock markets plunged as investors grappled with the uncertainty. The technology sector, heavily reliant on global supply chains, felt the heat immediately. Companies like Nvidia, a major producer of computer chips, saw their stock prices tumble amid fears of restricted access to the crucial Chinese market. The tariffs have reignited fears of a global trade war. Memories of the US-China trade disputes of the previous decade loom large. Many fear that these new tariffs could spark a cycle of retaliation, with countries imposing tit-for-tat barriers to trade. This escalation could have disastrous consequences for the global economy, disrupting supply chains, increasing prices for consumers, and stifling economic growth. The international community has responded to the American tariffs with a mixture of apprehension and defiance. Governments around the world are scrambling to assess the potential damage and formulate a response. Some are considering retaliatory tariffs of their own, while others are exploring ways to forge new trade alliances. The European Union, a major trading partner of the United States, has emerged as a key player in this unfolding drama. European leaders have condemned the American tariffs as protectionist and harmful to the global economy. They have threatened to retaliate with tariffs on American goods, potentially targeting iconic products like Harley-Davidson motorcycles and Kentucky bourbon. Within the United States, the tariffs have also sparked controversy. While some industries and labor unions have welcomed the protectionist measures, others have expressed alarm. Businesses that rely on imported goods fear higher costs and supply chain disruptions. Economists warn of job losses in sectors hurt by retaliatory tariffs. The battle lines are drawn and the stakes are high. The specter of a trade war has cast a long shadow over the global economy. Economists warn that the American tariffs, if not rolled back, could have dire consequences. They argue that tariffs rarely achieve their intended goals and often backfire, leading to higher prices for consumers, job losses, and slower economic growth. One of the biggest concerns is the impact on global supply chains. The tariffs have the potential to disrupt the intricate networks that allow businesses to source components and finished goods from around the world. This disruption could lead to shortages, delays, and higher costs for businesses and consumers alike. The tariffs also threaten to undermine the rules-based trading system that has underpinned global prosperity for decades. This system, embodied in institutions like the World Trade Organization, is based on the principle of non-discrimination and the peaceful resolution of trade disputes. The American tariffs, seen by many as unilateral and protectionist, could weaken the WTO and embolden other countries to pursue similar policies. The American tariffs are not just about economics, they are also about politics. They are a manifestation of the rising tide of protectionism and nationalism that is sweeping across the globe. This trend is fueled by a complex mix of factors, including economic anxiety, cultural insecurity, and a backlash against globalization. In the United States, the tariffs are seen by some as a necessary corrective to decades of unfair trade practices by China and other countries. They argue that these practices have cost American jobs, hollowed out the manufacturing sector, and undermined American competitiveness. However, critics of the tariffs argue that they are a misguided attempt to turn back the clock on globalization. They point out that trade, while not without its downsides, has been a major driver of global economic growth and has lifted millions out of poverty. They warn that a retreat into protectionism will only lead to a more divided and less prosperous world.